It's not like we're reading the news.
Good stuff.
He's like, but we do that.
That's all I know how to do, man.
I mean, I ain't hating. I ain't hating or nothing.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, we're live and all that for 25 seconds at least. So
But, I'm moving my things around. Hold on. You can go ahead and start the show. I'm good.
all right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Scarcasm. We got Scar in the building, as always, and we also got Jabroni Chief, the Joe Fungal, the I can't remember all your
Trader
nicknames.
Joe.
Trader
Yeah,
Joe.
all Trader Joe, Jabroni Chief, whatever you want to call me. Host on Gaming Vessels, host on GH Radio. Used to be formerly known as Gamer Husbands, but since everyone left and basically we were just everyone that was left was divorced or didn't have a girlfriend, except for good old Alfred. So we pretty much changed the name of the pod. So
I was on Gamer Husbands
So it's like
years and
KFC?
years ago. I was on years ago, and that was back when it was like the original crew,
yeah.
like Alfred, um, Superman, and I can't remember the third guy, but it was. I mean, this was years and years and years ago, and what happened was, big tornado had just hit their area. So they were talking about that at the beginning of the show. And I sat there, and no one believes I did this. No one believes I did this because I'm a talkative dude. I sat there for like 40 minutes, unmuted, and I didn't say a word. No one believes me. No one at all. But I absolutely sat there and I didn't say anything. I just let them talk because, it was a tornado that happened in the area,
Yeah, let them like it was probably Sam and whoever else was venting and whatnot. Good old Sam and his shed stories and Walmart and all that business. So.
Right. Yeah, I met a couple. I went to a PAX East years ago. I met a couple of those dudes. I never met Alfred in person. But I think I met one or two of those dudes that day. But it was like so many people, like so many people, and we were all basically in one hotel room doing like this extended like podcast type thing. So it was just absolute chaos. But it was a fun ass day. Yeah, man. Welcome to the show. We do a show where we just kind of talk about stuff. Now, I am going to start this off with a conversation that we had while we were recording the videos prior to the show happening, about your Xbox cameras. Okay, so when I first got my 360, and like longtime listeners of the show know this story. People I haven't told the story in a while, and sometimes when you have a show that has lasted this long, you have to kind of tell some stuff over again for the new people. So welcome, new people. I'm about to tell you why I had to stop playing Uno on Xbox Live. So when I got my 360, I didn't have a whole lot. Like I played a lot of like Puzzle Quest and stuff like that, and then Uno came out, and I used to play Uno all the time. I even met people on Uno. Like this one lady that I used to play with like almost every night. She was using her son's Xbox to play Uno, and we used to play just Uno or whatever. Then they came out with the camera, and they added camera support to the Xbox, and it was just a bunch of dumb stuff, right? It was just a bunch of dumb stuff, like people just doing dumb stuff in the cameras because everybody can see you now. And in the last straw, we started a match, and there's these two dudes, They are sitting on a couch, presumably in a man cave or someone's living room. Two dudes sitting right side by side, and they are grinning. We don't know why they're grinning. They are grinning. And we're like, okay, this is weird. And like that whole thing where you look like you're about to bust out laughing and because you're getting ready to do something fucking stupid. So that happened. And as soon as the match starts, one guy pulls out the other guy's junk and starts jacking him off in the camera. I stopped playing Uno immediately at that point.
Uno.
I can't play Uno no more.
I'd be scarred for life. So
yeah, it was not not a fun time because that was a game that I really enjoyed playing, and it's like at that time I didn't have a whole lot of games, so like unfortunately I believed Major Nelson.
So it's like
he told me the outfit was a good game. Fucking outfit. He told me that was a good game, and I believed Major Nelson because that was back when I was full on Xbox. And I was like, yo, I listened to Major Nelson and all this other shit. And every fucking week when the Xbox was out, because I didn't buy mine at launch. I got it a couple of months later when I could actually afford it. Because when I started, when the Xbox 360 came out, I was working at GameStop. So yeah, so like I believed Major Nelson when he told me that the outfit was a great game. And so I went and I bought that shit immediately. And I had a coupon, buy two, use, get one free. I can't remember what the third one was, but the second one definitely was Oblivion. It's not my kind of game. I played it for like the beginning of the game and I just quit. I just stopped.
Well, so I bet you were playing a lot of Uno, a lot of Hexic HD.
I didn't play a lot of Hexic, but I did.
What's the one with the marbles that go through the little snake path?
I know what you're talking about. The Zuma.
Zuma, yeah. I think it's Zuma because Zumba is something different, right?
Yeah, Zumba is something different.
What's old girl who used to work for Microsoft? She used to talk about Zuma all the fucking time. What's her name? I can't believe I used to know all of these Xbox people. I can't remember her name.
Miss
But
Xbox.
she's one of those people she's one of those people that I used to follow.
But yeah.
When I was an Xbox. Yeah, that shit sucked.
My first 360 games were BioShock, Call of Duty 4, The Darkness, The Orange Box. Oh, and Time Shift.
Oh, so you got yours late.
And my first was Cameo, I think. Went and bought it.
Cameo, that was the third game. Okay, that was the third game, and I didn't like that either. I still own all of them actually.
Well, I got mine late, yeah, because I played during. I would say I started playing during the 2007 era, but I didn't have my Xbox then. My father-in-law had an Xbox, and I bought a memory card, and I would play on his. We lived in the same house, so I'd just play on his and just have my own memory card.
Okay.
But by the time that I got my own, it was the beginning of 2009. But by that time, I'd already been playing 360 for a year, but not online. But that same profile that was on that memory card became my gamer tag. So all those trophy or achievements and stuff that I got on his are still there. But so it's kind of cool.
My daughter passed the 10K club, and I was like, yo, I remember when passing the 10K club and achievements was a thing. Remember when the 10K club was a thing? There was a whole fucking website devoted to the 10K club.
And now this is
I don't even know if my gamer score is 10K or not. So
mine is high because I've been an Xbox for a long time. So
What is
Mine is decently high. It's not like
it?
100,000 or something. I think it's like
Well,
60 something thousand.
yours is probably higher than mine because I went over and played mostly on the PS4 when during that era. But I did play some Xbox. But let's see what mine is. Mine is 46,470.
I'm looking mine up right now. Go
I'm
ahead.
checking mine up right now too.
Um.
Not high at all because obviously Xbox is not my preferred console. But
Oh my God. This is sounds like I did this on purpose, but I assure you I did not. Right?
um,
My current gamer score is 69,969.
nice.
I assure you, I did not do this on purpose. Well, that is a number that comes up
So
for
that
me
means you're
all the time.
is that is does that mean that you are basically retiring from gaming to keep your achievement score the same?
No, because I'm on my way. I'm almost finished with the campaign of 2 Point Campus. So I gotta keep going. Yeah, but that number 69 comes up a lot. Like there's a 69 in my social. There's a 69 in my driver's license number. There's a 69 in like quite a few things. I have no idea why.
Hopefully not in your face, but
It's it's
Well, the right kind is all right with me.
it's I think that might be your spirit number.
I think so. I used to say it's 36,
Well,
but
I was just on here when I was looking at my gamer score. It just reminded me because I saw the last thing I played on Xbox, which was Shredder's Revenge, and I do want someone to play that with. Cause that
I
was really,
downloaded it. I just never done anything with it because
I was
what was
playing.
I playing?
Remember when we were playing Aliens, and then I kind of fell asleep for a while, and then I woke back up, and I stayed in the party. When I woke back up, that's what I was playing when I was hanging out with you guys to keep myself awake. It's really fun, and the music is dope. And I really want to see. I don't want to like look it up on YouTube. I want to hear the ending song in the game for myself because I heard it's awesome. It's Wu
we
Tang
should play
related.
sometime. Is it Wu-Tang related? Oh, snap. And my gamer score is like 13,922, so very low. Very
So
low.
Well, you're in the 10K club.
do
Yeah.
you play a multiple? You play in multiple places?
I play mainly on PlayStation, but I play also on Steam and Switch. Pretty much got
I,
everything under
I
the
think
sun.
my
So,
my trophy situation must be pitiful.
with
Not
the
a
PlayStation,
I'm not a PlayStation person, and I've never cared about trophies.
Well, it
Never cared
looks
about.
well. The trophy system I think looks better than it did because it used to be like based on like a rank, and your little rank doesn't look as good as like a big ass number like 46,000. You know what I mean? That looks better.
Sony for not actually giving us the full on trophy case in our PlayStation homes like they told us that we were eventually going to get. Like fuck them for that because I was in PlayStation Home all the time because I saw the promise of PlayStation Home. I saw the promise of PlayStation Home, but
A-
they just never delivered on it.
And you're
And
not
it's
the
just
only
like
one. A lot of people love that shit and have fond memories of that shit. And
I booted up one time. It's like, do I have to stand in line to play an arcade game? No, I ain't gonna do this. Get out of here with this shit. So,
that year that they put their E3 booth in PlayStation Home, I thought that was dope as fuck. Like, I thought it was just a cool idea. Like they was like, "Yo, this is our E3 booth. You can watch all the videos and do all of the stuff. It looks exactly the same."
well, when you
Well,
say the
a
spiritual
cartoon.
successor of PlayStation Home is probably VR chat.
I don't know. I don't know anything about VR chat.
I don't know much about it, but it seems like it's basically like a 3D world that you walk around and talk to people and hang out.
I can't do VR. I can't. I have zero interest in VR. In fact, if I listen to your
I
podcast,
I have more interest than you
VR, I'm
do,
out.
But it also shows that I haven't finished Alex yet, and Alex is, if there's a reason to play VR, that's it. It's like fucking good, and
That's a
but I
Half
don't
Life
feel
game.
like, that's the Half Life one. I don't feel like putting the thing on, hooking it up. You have to go into Steam VR, make sure everything's loaded. I'd rather just sit down and play a game. You know.
Yeah, I have PlayStation VR, and I don't really play it all that much. So I've been
I
meaning to
just
get back to it. So
Well, on
I just
PlayStation
don't
VR,
I
you have
don't
to.
want to be I don't want to be fully enclosed in anything. Like that's the problem that I think
I do want to
that
play
I'll
that
have.
Astro Bot. I heard that's really good, and that's
I
only
haven't
on
tried it.
PlayStation. That's only on
Yeah,
PlayStation.
so maybe
But
I'll get to it at some point. So I still have it hooked up. I just re-hooked up my PS4 so I could use it on that because right now if I use my PS5 with the PlayStation VR unit, it's going to throw my fidelity off on my C1. So, because I guess if you use the pass-through box, it doesn't do the 120 hertz and all that bells and whistles bullshit. So,
and that's one thing that
I
if you don't
there's
really
only
care about frame rate or whatever, VR is the one thing you will care about frame rate,
yeah,
or else you're puking.
I'm only the only thing VR that I was even remotely interested in is Beat Saber. That's it.
That I didn't know it was going to be as good as it was, but fucking Tetris is amazing in VR. It's so fucking good, so
I played the
relaxing.
little res too, and that was pretty cool. I need to get back to that too. So,
Tetris is amazing on everything.
Yeah, but
Like you
this
know
is
what I
this is
mean?
on
Like
another
that's
level, man. Like, cause you
I
start
did
doing it, start going good, and the beat starts kicking in, and like the music goes. It's something special.
I did see at the time it did an article with one of those Tetris champions of something or other, and they put him in the VR thing, and they said once he got the hang of it, like he was doing better than he had ever done before, even as a Tetris like champion, because like being like completely enclosed in Tetris gave him a different type of focus. I thought that there was a very interesting article. It didn't sell VR to me, but it was a very interesting article at the time. So what are y'all playing now? Well I'm not asking Chase, because I know
Ask me,
Chase is gonna play.
bitch.
I'm playing No
What have you
Man's
been up
Sky
to?
for the last week. I got back into it.
Really?
I picked it up originally back at launch, and I actually enjoyed it at launch, even though everyone was kind of hating on it at the time. And kind of dropped off after about 3-4 months after playing it, pretty much off and on. But I always meant to go back to it, and it's just like now that I've kind of been egged on by my friend Desmond, which is also another host on Gaming Vessels, and he's been playing it, and I've been kind of noticing it for its chill type of emergent gameplay where I'm able to go in and just if I want to mine, I just mine. If I want to do whatever, I just do whatever. I don't feel pressured to do anything other than to relax, and so I definitely welcome
Well,
that in my
well,
gaming
I don't know if it
life.
was on the
So
podcast or if it was on one of our game nights. We always get that shit mixed up. But I remember looking on Steam or something, and I was talking to you guys and being like, these screenshots. If someone said, "What is this game?" I wouldn't know what it was and be like, "Okay, tell me what this game is," because this it does not look like the same game anymore. Like at all.
yeah,
Like not even
like
like I.
the UI has totally changed. It's like I had to relearn how to play. And it's like it's been years, since I played it, but it's like I knew what I was doing, and then jumping back into a game years and years later, iterations upon iterations, and the game is like, even though I have it on a disc, it's like
Dude,
it's not
if they didn't
exactly
announce
like
it,
yeah. It's
if
just
they
like
did,
going back and playing Destiny 1 from way back in the day. It's like come on, it's like
yeah,
way different now.
if they didn't announce it when they did and said it was going to come out when it did, and it just like come out like this year at this date, it would probably be like absolutely glowing, like people, because it brought people back, but there's still probably people just like people that fell off of Destiny that still think it's the way it was back then and have never came back because it burnt them that bad.
I think it was the gaming consensus at launch was dude lied. And that caused most of the problems for it because they were just like, this dude sold us something that's not actually what this game is right now. Now, eventually it became that game he sold us originally, but it was not that game at launch.
Right.
I personally I've never tried No Man's Sky. Now I think it would be worth trying now. But originally I just kept trying to figure out where the game was. Like I see exploring these worlds and mining and stuff like that, but where's the game? Where's the hook? Where's the thing that's gonna make me wanna be here? That's what I kept asking myself when I was watching the basically the preview coverage of it. Um,
Yeah.
what is it? What is it about the game that hooked you?
For me, it's just back when it originally came out. It's just like I enjoyed just the whole meta of it. I didn't really care about pushing the plot line, which the plot line at the time was to reach the center of the universe, I believe, on there. In fact, I'm playing it now, and it's like I'm not even concerned about the plot line. I'm more like I'm playing with my friend. We're doing the instance together. We're just discovering worlds, and it's a point that me and Dez are. I'm gonna work my way through and see what plot line is with this thing and kind of fill it out. And I think the less I know, the better, because it's a point that I don't need to know the plot. I just want to be able to get the general mechanics and kind of go in there and kind of just immerse myself in things a bit and kind of just take it from there and just let the mechanics and the gameplay kind of communicate the story versus me reading a big synopsis as far as what this game's trying to communicate or tell me what to do or as far as
Well,
what the
it's
end
still
game's
a.
going to be.
But
I think the less I know, the better. So
is there like a progression though? Even if you're not following a story, is there still feel like you're progressing in some way?
I hope so. We'll see. Right now I'm just
Because
relearning, and I haven't gotten anything where I haven't gone to the next galaxy yet. I'm trying to get enough equipment so I'll be able to go and do the warp to take me to another galaxy from the initial worlds that we started with. So
that's what hooked me on Valheim versus other survival games like Minecraft or the zombie ones. Those just seem like it was just about the surviving. You're just going to day to day to day to day, and it seems fun if you had friends to do it. But like Valheim had a hook. You're building yourself up to fight these bosses to get better and better, so you always feel like you're progressing. When Minecraft does not feel like that.
I was very interested in one of those types of games. I was very interested in Ark until I saw someone play it on YouTube. And he was very into the game in the beginning. Everything seemed to be going well. But every time he stopped, left, and came back, like it seems like dinosaurs just kind of overran everything that he did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I just made this little hut for myself. I got this little storage area and all of this other stuff. And, I got a couple of dinosaurs on my team. Like, we good right now. And then he leaves, and when he comes back, a Tyrannosaurus that ran through the hut.
Well, that
You know what I
sucks.
mean?
Like I didn't know it was like that to where like it's gonna stay there when you're gone. Because even like in Valheim, even if you're not at your house, like enemies spawn around the players. They're not just in the world, so they're not just gonna like even when you're playing. But when you're off, the game's off. You know what I mean? So like that would
but
that would
Yeah, I don't know what kind of server he was playing on. So but this is pretty early in Arc. I mean, it's probably a much different game now. There's all kind
wasn't
of sci-fi shit now.
wasn't Conan Exiles like that in a way too, where it kind of existed where you had to go and maintain every so often. So
I've heard about that game. I don't know anything about it. It never
I
seemed like a game
I
for me.
I played it, but I didn't get the full. experience of it. I enjoyed what I played, but for me, it felt like I was playing an RPG because I went with a group that they just had armor for me, and we just went and raided caves and stuff, you know. So it didn't seem like a survival game for me because they already did all the surviving already, you know. You know, they had this big base and stuff when I started playing. So, so yeah,
The
but
only thing I
it was
remember about
fun.
that game was the dong slider, because there used to be like, at least on the PC version, you could, obviously make your dick as long as Kingdom Come
Yeah,
or whatnot, So
yeah, that's yeah, very much stupid.
yeah,
There was another game where it was like a woman, and like the bigger you made your boobs, the more charisma your character had. But then you get the opposite of of that with the South Park games. Because the darker you make your skin, the harder the game is.
I know. I told Kevin that, another host of Gaming Vessels, former gamer husbands guy, that obviously
Mhm.
kind of felt that a bit, So
Yeah, I posted a picture in the chat of us at that PAX East, and I was like, I know we all took a picture together, so like the guys that I'm talking about are in that picture.
It'll be on the stream.
I don't think it's gonna be on the stream. I was just talking to him personally.
yeah, I wasn't there for sure. I got on the gamer husbands like around episode, I think, 354 hundo. So it's like,
Okay, you
and I
put
only
you
got on there because I was friends with Kevin, show enough 71, and kind of got from there. So, and then of course I'm friends with Chris Brown too. The
Lefty.
Merry Gamers. So
Yeah, shout out to Lefty, man. He, there was a while where he was kind of going through it, man.
I was there to kind of witness all the mayhem, unfortunately. So
Yeah, I've been there. I'm divorced. I've been there.
I'm
uh,
divorced too. So
yeah,
I'm on like year 4.
it's been quite some time for me. Thank goodness. Well, it's been like 10 years since, well, almost 10 years since the separation, though.
Yeah, it was kind of
Maybe
hard for
2
me because
years.
I gamed with my wife. So
Me too. That change, and I podcasted with my wife also. Like she was the other person of this podcast. So like when she left, like a lot of the identity of everything I was involved with just kind of changed in that instant.
I kept plugging away. So I was still podcasting with Merry Gamers, even though
I I,
standing
I
as a
took
married man was like kind of hanging in the balance a bit. So
I took a break and I took a break and came back. I just couldn't function.
Well, there's another podcast called Married to the Games. So
So, oh Chase, what you got? I'll be nice. I'll ask you about your game today.
I actually played something that I didn't think I'd be playing, but for some reason I just saw it in my Steam library and I was like, you know what? Fuck yeah! And I've been playing Far Cry 2.
oh wow,
Oh, two?
Yeah, two. Two.
They didn't get like really good until three, right?
Well, they became what everyone knows as Far Cry in 3, like the outpost and the taking things over, and you basically being a, a hero that's from a foreign land that comes over and becomes like a tribal hero that saves everybody. And so that didn't really come in until 3. 2 is a different beast. It to me is when Far Cry became a little bit better because Crytek made the first Far Cry, and with all of Crytek games, I've always said, other than Crysis 2, Crytek is a really good developer of tech. Not really on games. Like Far Cry, Crysis, all these games are like these tech demos that look amazing, and they're kind of so-so games. You know what I mean? But Far Cry
I mean,
2,
there was a whole thing. That was the whole thing like years ago. Like, build a new PC. Can it run Crisis though?
right?
I've never played Crisis, but I saw it running like at a fries at one point, and it's like, oh shit, look at this. Oh my
I
god,
have
you know.
I have a special 360, and I have a special copy of Crisis 2 for 360. I played it a little bit just to see if the special part of this box actually worked, and did. And I don't think I played very much more than that. I don't even think I've even played any of my special games after that, because I got like at least three of them when I got the damn mod chip put in the fucking thing where I could play copy games. Um, I got like three of those, and then after that, I never thought about.
Crisis 2 is a very fun game. I really like Crisis 2, where it
No,
actually became a game at that point.
no, I know my homie Ace. Ace really loves the Crisis series. He loves the whole series. So
But yeah, Far
No,
Cry 2, its whole thing, you're still an open world and whatnot, but you're no hero, man. You're like a mercenary. You're between this like civil war. Like if you take you can kill everybody at an outpost or whatever, but there's still an army there. So you come back through there, they got more dudes there. You're never going to like clear out an area. There's always going to be someone to fight, dude. You got malaria, so you having to take pills. You're like, I mean, the game is like saying that, yeah, you're not a hero, and you're not probably going to win, but it's a special game because, like in 3, they made it to where there is like a menu when you bring up a map, it pauses the game. You have a map, right? Well, in 2, when you bring up your map, you bring up a map that you hold in your hand. Like it still has icons and stuff on it, but you're holding it in your hand when you're driving. You're holding the map there. You know what I mean? So it's still the map doesn't actually pause the game. You can turn the reticles off. Like if you find guns out in like off an enemy, and they'll be all rusted and shit, and they'll jam on you. The only ones that don't jam are the ones that you get from the vendors that are new weapons. So, and a lot of these gameplay things went away at 3. And I think 3 is overall a better game. Did something happen, Scar?
I mean, I said I'll be right back in the chat. Like,
Oh, I didn't see that. I was looking at my thing, but I was saying how the
you know something with the BRB. All right, so I was having this conversation like years ago, and this is on AIM Messenger. You know what I mean? So like, I'm having a conversation with someone, and she kept BRBing me, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just, had something to deal with." And I was like, "Oh, I thought BRB meant bathroom break." So I'm like, "Are you okay?" Because she just kept stopping. To me, she kept stopping and going to the bathroom. It was my sister. It wasn't like a girl I was talking to or anything like that. It was my sister. She had temporarily moved to Delaware, so we were just kind of talking to her.
but yeah, I was saying how like it's special because there's certain gameplay things that aren't in like the later games. You know, like you're not climbing towers. You're not going to like take over a thing when dudes.
No, you're not doing the Ubisoft thing.
Yeah, it's not formulaic at that point. It's a
Yeah,
own separate game.
yeah, like
Because like they did the tower thing, Watch Dogs did the tower thing, Assassin's Creed did the tower thing. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, you
The
can
only
take
games that
over.
there's the only games that didn't do the tower thing, which it was kind of similar because you just go to a fucking safe house and then like the Division, you just go to a safe house and it does the exact same thing as climbing the towers did.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, the
but
safe houses are in Far Cry 2. That's the only thing that you actually take over. There's a couple guys there, and they're acting no good, and like they and you take them out, and you have a safe house, right? But in the PC version, in the console version, the safe house is where you save. In the PC version, it still has a safe house where you can save, but you can save anywhere. on the PC version, like with quick save. So it really other you have health and ammo and stuff at your safe house, but the save thing. But yeah, like you hold the map, it's pause the game. It's like in your hand. I always thought that was really cool. Like it was things to where it makes it realistic in a way to where it doesn't make the game unfun. It just makes it realistic in a way that makes it more immersive. You can take the reticles off. You have your map that's in your hand. You can what is the other thing? You have like you have malaria and shit. Like all these things are just not. it's it's just a very cool game that a lot of people haven't played. And I think it's still good.
Is it multiplayer or is it the
I
point?
I
Because
I,
I know
I think it had a multiplayer like a versus, but I don't know if that's still a thing.
active or not. Yeah, let me
Does,
Right.
look.
does how much of the game actually holds up still?
Visually,
That might have been something that I missed. Like not just visually, but like controls wise and things of that nature. Were you doing mouse and keyboard?
I was doing mouse and keyboard because when I first played it on my laptop, I did controller. But for some reason here, it's like the thumbstick was just straight raw mouse, and I couldn't control that shit worth shit. So I went mouse and keyboard. But so far, I mean, I think with the controller, it was still Call of Duty controls at that point.
Yeah.
Aiming down the
Yeah.
sights and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't of like fucked up shit like the first Bad Company. First Bad Company was like this pre Call of Duty control, so like the control schemes is fucked up in Battlefield Bad Company 1. Oh, speaking of Battlefield Bad Company 1, how do y'all feel about Amazon buying EA?
Hasn't happened yet, so just
It's
a rumor.
like it's a rumor, but like let's be honest, Amazon has more money than anyone, so like they could just be like, we're buying EA, fuck it, let's do it. And like it can just be a thing. I mean, of course, there's a lot of legal stuff to do, but like everybody else is gobbling up places. Like Microsoft gobbling up places. Sony is gobbling up places. Amazon is
Who's
just
the
like,
big one? Who's the big one that owns Tripwire and stuff?
Embracer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like the people gobbling up smaller things, and like to Amazon, EA is a smaller thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just feel kind of weird. It feels weird that like
If Amazon owns EA, Amazon could say it's Amazon. It's in the game, and
no,
they could do that. They could do that, and nobody would sue them because they.
no. I think we should never do that. I think we should never ever do that.
Well, I think EA as a company, for me at least, not exactly top of the line anymore. I mean, if they buy them out, they buy them out. I mean, I don't know. I've really kind of shipped a sailed on EA in my book, so
It's
a little
true because
bit.
the only EA game that I actively really well there's kind of two, maybe three EA games that I actively care about. All of them are older games. Like none of them are, what I mean, like, Mass Effect. That's EA, but like it's like, come on, dog, is it really EA? You know
Well,
what I
it
mean?
is now because BioWare's not the same. Not when the two doctors left, way back
Yeah,
when.
and they left after three, so that's when shit hit the fan because of the stupid fucking gamers. They they ran the doctors off, and they haven't been the same since. Um, so at least we got one, two, and three. I like Andromeda, but it's not a great game. It's a good game. It's not a great game. So I would put that on my list. And then I like playing NBA Live 19. I still enjoy playing that game as opposed to even worrying about whatever the new 2K is. I just enjoy playing that game. That game is just pure fun.
Well,
It's not as accurate to how this thing is actually supposed to go as as like a 2K game, but let's be honest, this shit came out in 2018, so you know, like you can't really. They haven't came out with a new game since, so you have really nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, I know that Scar is notoriously hated Battlefield, but I used to love Battlefield. Like, well, at least with Battlefield Bad Company too. But and then,
I enjoyed the Bad Company games. I will say that. But as far as Battlefield in general, I fucking hate it. I can't stand Battlefield.
but
But
it's
it's like Battlefield is like the Cowboys. Like I don't like the Cowboys, but I hate the Cowboys fans. You know what I mean? Like Cowboys fans make this shit worse. Like, you know what I mean? I could just not like them like how I do the Commandos. Like Commandos fans aren't annoying like Cowboys fans. Like so, and that's how I feel about Battlefield. Like people who love Battlefield are trying to tell you how realistic it is. Yo, if I want to fix anything in this game, I just pull out a fucking blowtorch. What is realistic about that?
Oh yeah, that
And
in Far Cry 2, that's the one thing. You lift up the hood, and yeah, it's not completely realistic, but it's as realistic I want to get in the video game. And you turn a wrench on like the radiator or something, and you fix the thing. You don't just put a blowtorch next to the car and have it fix it like the other Far Cry games. You know?
it's like, and it's like this is a realistic game because it has bullet drop. Who said bullet drop was fun? I play games for fun. That doesn't sound fun. Bullet drop isn't fun. I'm going
Far
through
Cry
this.
2 fun with all the bullets jamming and all those guns going
well,
haywire.
like I was saying, the they jam on the guns you find like in the wild, but if you get your guns from your vendors and stuff, they're legit. So it's just make sure you just have your good shit, you know. But yeah, it's I don't know, I like it. But like the new Battlefield, man, like that is like a really trashy game, and it's sad. You know what I mean? Because even if you don't like Battlefield, I would hate for Battlefield fans to get some sort of shit like that for $60.
This kind of pays the mind as far as how EA is operating and been operating as a company for these last few years. It's just Anthem, Battlefield, you fucking name it. It's just a shit show.
Anthem wasn't even that bad. It was
Anthem
not.
was great. I liked Anthem a lot, but obviously
I played
everyone crap.
it after, and I was just like, this is actually fucking cool. And like leading up to the release of Anthem, it's like, yo, you mean to tell me they made Destiny with Iron Man suits? Where the fuck do I sign up? You know what I mean? Like people were just kind of hating, and I'm just like, no, it's Destiny with Iron Man suits. Like, what could be wrong with this? Yeah, and they totally fucked that up.
I kind of wish they were working on an Anthem like 2.0 where they were going to release this big like update, and I was following the guy on Twitter, the director in charge of it, and they eventually just decided not to go through with it. So it's just like
they had some sort of meeting. It was like, yeah, EA is supposed to decide the fate. And it was just like, all right, we know that we're working on 2.0. We're trying to get everything, squared away. We're putting all of this effort into the game. And then it was just like,
it took too long. That's the problem.
Yeah, they were like, hey, you know that thing you're working on? Well, what if you don't do that?
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is? It's like, hey, BioWare, go ask your mom if we can get 2.0. And she goes, and they go to EA, and then they come back with the sad face and the poked out lip. And EA said no. That's basically what happened. We were all like, go, ask your mom so we can get 2.0. She said no.
And more like they're like promising this 2.0 so they don't get their ass class action lawsuit. So.
Right. But that game was really cool. But here's the thing. They said that EA is working on 2 Marvel projects. One of them could possibly be an Iron Man game. They have the technology already. There was nothing wrong with flying in that game.
Mm-mm.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I saw
So
some news bit, I guess, that Avalanche Studios was working on an Iron Man game for 2 years and they shit canned it afterwards. So
They just
that
need
was
to
the
make it
Just
to where you
Cause
can fly
developers.
longer.
So yeah,
yeah, and so like please BioWare, y'all can pull off an Iron Man game. Like I believe in you. I used to really believe in BioWare. Like I don't. I'm trying hard to keep my love for BioWare. Like I might have to just put on KOTOR one time just so I can feel something again. Um, like I have to do that. But then the KOTOR remake got fucking delayed. It's like, come on, man. Like,
well, it's not
that
Bioware,
wasn't
so
them. That wasn't them. I granted that wasn't them. But it's just like, man,
But hopefully it's gonna be if they get some, they have got somebody else that maybe they're saying, hey, we don't want a Anthem or a Cyberpunk type situation. You guys are gone. We're getting somebody else to do this right. Because what you showed
yeah,
us.
they said it was delayed indefinitely, right?
Well,
it's
they
still
said.
well. They're still working on it. Yeah, it's trying to think of the developer. It was Aspire that was doing the remake, and then
Yeah.
they kicked it over to God, what's the name of the developer? Oh, Saber Interactive, the same group that brought like World War Z on there, and they've done other games previously. I think some of the main heads of Saber Interactive also did Spec Ops: The
Oh,
Line, I believe.
I
So
I, I forgot
yeah,
about World
Frank,
War Z. I am thirsty. Be right back.
it's still a rule. Bring us Spec Ops the Line or Kingdoms of Amalur, you need to drink. It's that's the rule. Um, I hated Spec Ops the Line.
I've never played it, even though it's in my backlog. I heard it's like
It's
obviously
it's
this
a
big overwrought plot and like horrors of war and all this other stuff.
it's
So
a solid game until you get to the ending, and it makes everything you did while you were playing this game obsolete. The ending kills any enthusiastic response you would have for that game.
It's because you don't get nuance.
Oh, I get nuance. I just don't know why they did that the way that they did.
But
It's
World War
no
Z,
no
man, that
no
was a good
spoilers.
game.
He said that was in his. He said it was in his backlog, so no spoilers on Spec Ops.
oh no, you can spoil it. I'll probably never get to it. So
But World War Z, man, that's a really good game, and we used to do some game nights on that. Forgot about
it's
that game.
still on Games Pass right now. I mean, I thought about dipping back into it.
It's
So
fun.
I
I thought it
mean,
was coming. I thought it was coming off at the end of this month.
is it? Shows you how much I know. I don't really pay attention. I haven't turned on my
Well,
Xbox in a while, so
I
you're
just
right.
look on the.
But I'm gonna look right now, and
But yeah,
I know it.
it's a good. Yeah, leaving soon. World War Z. Oh, they're
I'll give me
getting.
excuse to buy it. I think it's like less than $10 at GameStop. So
Well, What Remains of Edith Finch, Two Point Hospital, Signs of Sojourner, Mist, 12 Minutes, which, fuck that game. Hades, World War Z, and Spiritfarer are all leaving Game Pass.
Yeah, I'm not happy about 2 Point Hospital. Now, I own 2 Point Hospital on two other platforms, but I played it mostly on my Xbox because of Game Pass, and that really blows.
Billows.
And I don't want to buy another copy of it because, like, I mean, I've gotten everything that I can get out of that, and I'm currently getting everything I can get out of Campus, so I can't really be mad at them. I
Were
actually
you,
played a game. I actually played a game that I had never played before this week.
well, you
what's
got
that?
once it leaves, you got Train World 3 to look forward to coming soon. So
I'll slap the shit out of you, Chase. I don't care nothing about no trains. Nope, not at all.
How
Fuck
about
out of
Cooking
here.
Simulator? And no cooking
No,
simulator. Yeah.
no. I'm only really. I mean, in my free time, I am playing Two Point Campus, but I did start playing Ghost Recon Wildlands because it was on Game Pass. So I have a I main Xbox. So like now I have a whole bunch of people to play the game with. I never played the game before. And it's kind of funny because the person that I helped, Todd, Nemesis, who was just here during the reactions, I helped him get into the division. So when we started Wildlands, he had played Wildlands before. I had only played during like the beta or the demo.
That beta
I
was
didn't.
trash.
Yeah, I didn't actually play the full game. So like I'm like getting into all of this stuff with these people, and I'm like, bro, slow down. I am a level 6. Like I can't be here right now. Like that type of stuff. Like, and I don't have, because of how much division I've played, and I'm pretty strong in the division, so I can just walk in a room and just start laying people the fuck out. Like this tactical shit sucks in comparison. It is a great game, but like trying to fight the urge to just run in everywhere, just start blasting, is a is so difficult for me. It is extremely difficult for me. And but when the game actually works, because for some reason I am the person out of the crew that always has the server issues connecting to Ubisoft servers. It's always a fucking problem for me, and me only. Nobody else seems to have any problems. It's just me, and I don't understand it. But
Comcast.
Wildlands is really good. And I play Breakpoint. Um, I do believe that Wildlands seems to be a better game at this point, but there are some gameplay innovations in Breakpoint that I wish was in Wildlands. There's a thing where you can do, like, if there's a helicopter or something over your head. In order to hide from the helicopter, you can like lay on the ground, you can go prone, and you can throw dirt and shit on yourself, so it makes it harder for you to see. You ain't got that shit in Wildlands. So if there is a helicopter flying over your head, if you can't get indoors, that helicopter is gonna fucking see you. And it is the worst thing ever. Because I actually tried it. Like, I dropped down to the ground and I was like, where is the button to throw the dirt on me, yo? Where is that button? But of course, I played the game that came after this. So there's some things about this that I don't have. There's this cool thing where you get like, I got like a ton of like the Ubisoft rewards when I started the game. They just like kept coming through. Like I got weapons and clothes and all kinds of stuff through the Ubisoft Club rewards. Um, there's three that I want to point out. There is a Future Soldier, Ghost Recon Future Soldier outfit that if you crouch and you wait for a few seconds, you do go invisible with the see through shit, like in Future Soldier. There's an Assassin's Creed outfit that's really cool. It's like military but Assassin's Creed. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like if someone wanted to design some military gear, but like with like Assassin's Creed aesthetics, that's it. And then there's a Division one. I think those are the ones that I remember. I know that there's more than that that I got through the Ubisoft Club, but yeah, it's really cool. And then the weapons that you get, the only downside to the weapons that you get from the club is you can't mod those weapons. So you have to take those weapons as is. But Wildlands is a really really fun game. I find it very difficult to get around because finding helicopters is not as easy as it is in Breakpoint. In Breakpoint, you just go to like one of your like safe areas, like the bivouac or whatever it's called, um, And like you have your own helicopter. You can be like, all right, I'm just gonna get my helicopter and we can go do this. You just jump to the you just fast travel to the safe area and then you got your helicopter. No, you gotta find a helicopter around here, dog. And the helicopter may or may not have some guns on it. It may or may not, be like all kinds of things. Like it's just like, I mean, you on your own here, dog. Like so, like it's a but it's been a fun game so far. But like, man, do you die easily?
I know what GHR Maverick, good old Alfred, he hates with a passion Breakpoint. It's been a point of our podcast that he loves Wildlands, he hates Breakpoint, and I think he should articulate a little bit more and maybe play Breakpoint.
I I I didn't love Breakpoint. What happened was I I just happened to someone was playing Breakpoint and they were having like a really big sale off of like the Game of the Year edition or the Super edition or whatever for like super cheap. Because Ubisoft does that. Like they'll do like you can get the Division for $3 only this week. You know what I mean? Like they do shit like that. So that's why I ended up with Breakpoint as opposed to Wildlands. And my biggest problem with Breakpoint is Breakpoint the game would just crash on me a lot. But I was enjoying it enough to whereas I kept coming back with the crashes. Like I knew that at some point this shit was gonna crash. It is going to crash to my dashboard. There is nothing I can do about it, but just wait a few seconds and just come all the way back.
I've been patched out, and the one thing for Ubisoft, you're going to give it up to them is they will keep hammering at a game. I mean, hell, Division 2 just had some updates not too long ago, which I was tempted to jump back in, but I didn't jump back in. So
No, I have, what did they say, 600 or something hours in the Division 2 on Xbox?
yeah, I think I have like about three hundo on PlayStation though. So
Yeah. I have deleted characters so I can make more characters. I know I've deleted at least about 5 people that I've ran all the way through, and then I deleted it so I can start over with someone else or just start over in general. So my the only way that I can see that is through the Ubisoft Club. If I look at it through the game, my character's time is measured in days. It's not measured in hours anymore.
wow.
It's like you have played this character for 14 days, 12 hours. Okay.
I don't know. I'm waiting for them to kind of. I want to see Heartland. I mean, they're free to play game, but we'll see what's up with all that business. So.
I don't think I'm really as excited for Heartland than I am for the mobile game. Was the Retribution?
Yeah, I think so.
Because the mobile game looks like New York. It looks like Division 1 in a mobile form, and I'm like, I would love to go back to Division 1 New York, but with Division 2 sensibilities.
Yeah, but is the mobile game going to be like dumbed down and shit?
It's a little bit more streamlined, especially when it comes to like character classes and stuff like that. But it seems pretty balanced so far from what I've seen. Your character class determines what the skills, the 2 skills you have now, which is different. You could just change your shit on the fly as long as it's not cooling down before. But yeah, I would like to see Heartland before I decide which way Heartland is going to go. I think it's kind of weird that they've talked about Heartland for this long and we haven't really seen anything other than a few screenshots. And the screenshots weren't really of anything of note. It's just screenshots. So and then like the problem that I have with Heartland is everyone explains the gameplay as an Escape from Tarkov type of game, and being an Xbot, I have no idea what the fuck that means.
I don't either. And I know that I've listened to a few podcasts that have talked about Escape from Tarkov, but I know it's very much a survival-esque, like, I don't know if you know anything about it, Chase. I know.
I don't
They,
play it,
they
but I've heard about it. But it seems like a game like Rust or something, right?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
I think the way they describe the division game is you are put into an area where you have to achieve some objectives and you have to extract back to the home base. But it's kind of like a it's kind
The
of like
whole
a
the whole game is the Dark Zone.
yeah, basically the whole game is kind of like a dark zone type thing. You're going to the dark zone type area and you have to get some things done and then extract back to the home base.
Hmm.
but but it's weird like that. And then apparently they have if at first they were going to have a mode where it was not you were not populated with other people, but that was kind of like the training wheels from for the actual thing. But now they're supposedly making a version that's like a co-op and it's a PvE type version of the mode. So I'm interested, but I just want to see something first. I'm tired of people talking about it. I just want to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Ubi's supposed to have something, I think, coming up in the next month, and hopefully they'll finally, because they weren't at E3 during E3 time, and so we really don't know what's going on with a lot of their projects and stuff. So,
What happened with the
yeah.
other shooter that they had? There was that shooter that they came out with, X Defiant or whatever the fuck that shit was called.
I think that got shut down. I mean,
It did it. Yeah, it just like they were like, this is a premiere. We're gonna make this game, and then it was just like, yeah, I don't know about this.
let's see. I'm gonna check right now, but
Wasn't
I'm
that the
not
game
sure.
that was like Korean and then it went to Xbox and like Remedy did it or something? But it
Hmm?
was Remedy made the single player, but the other game was like a foreign, like Russian or something.
Looks like they're still working on it, but they removed the Tom Clancy branding from it. So, and I guess it's still in beta at some point. So
Okay.
you could register to play it, but I guess there's insider sessions on here and closed tests. So I was thinking about that other game. I thought they brought out some other game that was supposed to be kind of like a.
Wait, are you talking about Crossfire?
I'm thinking no, not Crossfire.
Okay, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I'm
There's
thinking.
another Ubisoft multiplayer game that came out and basically went out like a wet fart, basically. So
Is that the game you're talking about, Chase?
Crossfire. Oh, is
Or
that
were you
the
talking?
X game? Crossfire? Maybe so. Crossfire is it Crossfire X?
I think so.
Okay.
Crossfire X, that's the game from Remedy that was developed in Korea that came out for Xbox and was
That's
very,
that's
very
exactly
bad.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what he said. That's so yeah. That's what it was.
But yeah. Also, forgot to mention. I mean, I didn't do much in it, but my brother finally fucking got me after all these years since he was like in middle school, wanted me to play with him. Got me to play fucking RuneScape.
What is RuneScape?
I don't even still don't really know, but like it's like a online RPG, but it's like very simplified, and you just go and kind of do what you want. If you want to just like fish or chop down trees or whatever, and then you can go fight enemies. But everything is like you just click on an enemy and you just like auto fight, so it's very like passive almost.
Oh,
So
no, thank you.
but we did a quest which was all voice acted. I mean, it's pretty cool, but but it's been around for fucking ages. Like one dude made it back in the day and just did it for free. They were losing money, so they had to like make this membership. There's a whole documentary about it, but it's crazy. But
Whatever happened with Guild Wars? Did that game die?
well, Guild Wars 2 just got released on Steam.
Yeah, we're talking about it. In fact, I got some sort of Amazon, like, hey, go here and you get like a Guild Wars, like, pet or something like that with the Prime. So, yeah, they're still chugging along, I guess. So,
I remember that being like we're the anti WoW.
yeah, buy the game once. There you go. Play all you want.
But Joe, did you ever say what you were playing?
Just playing No Man's Sky right now, basically, and getting all my equipment together. I bought a 65-inch C1 OLED TV, and so I was like just getting everything hooked up in my living room so I could start playing a little bit. So, and that's been the kind of trials and tribulations in the last couple of weeks. So other than that, playing a lot of Valheim with you on my Gaming Vessels game night, of course, so. I kind of talk about that Valheim's like the game where, you're just like the Viking den mother over here building everything, and I'm just going in swacking that shit. So it's like
You alright, Scar?
gathering resources, all that fun stuff.
I just had a coughing fit, and I don't feel well. I don't feel okay right now, but I'm a soldier through. I got this. I'm just letting y'all talk about the Valheim because I'm not even going to even think about touching that game until it's on Game Pass.
I'll probably retouch it once it's on there. So I was mentioning it to Chris and also over to Eric Bouchard, and I think they might pick it up. And so if that's the case, then that might be good to get multiple people playing that game. So
it's really relaxing for game nights and stuff until it's not.
Well, I haven't really talked about fighting any bosses. We only fought that one boss, like I think 3-4 weeks ago. So, and that was pretty cheesy easy. So,
yeah. Well, the first one he's pretty easy. But the second one's not as easy. But
it's kind of like that scene in Ragnarok where Thor and them are like getting ready to go, and like the Hulk is like getting ready to go fight the big dude that pops up out of the ground, and like so Chase is like, yo, we need to go, and you're like, big monster, what are you talking about? Like that's
yeah. I also played a little bit of Monster Hunter Rise for the first time in about 6 months, and that was pretty much a chore because I was trying to remember all the mechanics, because if you haven't listened to our podcast before, pretty much a lot of our previous history, especially with me and Desmond, we played a ton of Monster Hunter in the past. I'm talking about like way back, like back in PSP era, playing Monster Hunter 2 Portable and all this other stuff. So
I never played Monster Hunter at all, but I did play that wannabe game for a little bit when it came out because it was
Dauntless. Yeah.
I played that for a little bit, but it was just kind of like I just didn't really know what to do in that game.
Well, that seems like very why Monster Hunter is like so daunting, and wow, and the other game is Dauntless, but
yeah, exactly.
So it's
trademark ding.
But it's because like how like when you think about a Ubisoft game or like open world games in general, you like see all these question marks and stuff and all these exclamation points, and it's very daunting, like all this stuff to do. When that game is like not like that, but it's daunting in trying to learn the mechanics. Like,
well, the thing about the Monster Hunter is like the mechanics of the weapons, they're all different. So it's like almost like playing a new game when you pick up like a hunting horn or a insect glaive, or you name the type of weapon that you use, and it's
hunting
like
horn, like insect glaive.
Yes.
That sounds like random word generator. If we're gonna, what are we gonna name this? It is a hunting horn. It's a hunting horn. Like
once you're in it, and it's like I've never played hunting horn or
generator.
insects glaive, and they're both deep, and it's like it's kind of funny that Desmond, I believe he's played a little bit of hunting horn, but I have another friend that played just a grip of insect glaive, and so it's like it's an entirely different game. It's like
that's the name of the episode, right? It's the name of the episode definitely is hunting horn.
Hunting horn. There you go. So I would appreciate, Chase, if you picked up Monster Hunter World for maybe Xbox and or Steam, and I know with Gaming Vessels right now, I know one of our listeners, John BT,
It was just in a
wanted to play
bundle.
Monster Hunter World, and it's part of PlayStation Plus on the PS5 as far as the the little suite of free games that you get because you ponied up and bought a PS5 for God's sake. Here's some PlayStation Plus games for your ass, basically. So,
Well,
but
it was just in a bundle, but I didn't pick it up because I didn't know if there was anybody playing on Steam. That's why it took me so long to get Alien Fireteam Elite because I didn't know anybody that played it on Steam. But
yeah,
then I got it because it went crossplay, and then we've actually have been playing that a lot, which is really fun. And but so I mean, there'll be another Steam sale and whatnot, So
yeah. I mean, definitely. I know you don't play on PlayStation, so and unfortunately the game's not crossplay. So it's just like we'll see if we'll find the time because myself, Kevin, Desmond, all of our friends, we have multiple like hundreds of hours into Monster Hunter world on there, and of course I've been playing for a long, long time. Me and my ex-wife used to play. In fact,
Conversation we had earlier.
yeah. No, I was working quite a bit. Just she was feeling under the weather for a while, and she's wound up playing Monster Hunter World with a bunch of different people, and met some guy. Off she went. So that's what
That
happened.
happened to a homeboy of mine. One of his wife's Call of Duty friends kind of slid in, and yeah,
You
because
know,
his wife played Call of Duty.
the kind of handwriting was on the wall of my marriage anyway. But
Absolutely, I feel exactly the same.
for a point I didn't want to play Monster Hunter for a while, but I went back to it and pretty much just picked up where it left off because I didn't want to let that take the game away from me. On here, it's like even though it was a game that we grew to grow and play together at one point, we at one point we drove over to Capcom headquarters and were like participating in group nights over there 3 separate times. We drove like a good 150 miles from Fresno, where I live, and went to Capcom headquarters. They were having community game nights for Monster Hunter a couple times, and it was kind of cool
Word.
just to see all that
Still,
well, damn,
business. But
I just saw something on Steam. The I went to Monster Hunter World just to see if it was on sale, and I scrolled down to the reviews. At first, I was going to like talk shit because like I always think it's like hilarious when someone puts like 7,000 hours into a game and then gives it a negative review. It's like, okay, I get you might be disenchanted with the game at this point, but how are you gonna waste your life with 7,000 hours into a game and then not like it? Like, but anyway, this review is actually pretty. Apparently, they took away the ability to remap controls on the PC.
oh
So
really?
this person was left-handed, and he had to and he remapped it to make it better for him, and they took that away from him.
I used to play Unreal Tournament left hand mouse in the arrow keys because I never could WASD. Never
Well,
could.
Wow.
WASD is basically arrow keys. It's just in a different spot, right?
Yeah, but like I would left hand mouse and then arrow keys.
Oh yeah, because you're left-handed mouse. The WA. Yeah, I get you. I get you. That WASD is it would be backwards for you. So
Yep, I lefty, which means I am a sworn enemy of gel pens. Deaf to all gel pens.
well, I guess it makes more sense to why you're like I can't get down with the WASD because I can see that being definitely a right-handed domain is the mouse and keyboard controls.
Yeah,
Unless
no,
you
I've
can
never had
remap
I've
it.
never had any I never had any issues with a controller. It's
Because
just
what?
it's just my mind can't wrap itself around WASD.
But
Even when I played my tycoon games on PC, I am a mouse to the corner to move in the direction that I need to go.
right, but like you, if someone remapped it, they could do PL semicolon thing. You're basically doing the same thing, but you're doing it with this hand. and you're able to put your thumb on the spacebar for jumping, but you're doing it backwards. But if you're not able to remap it, you can't do that shit. So that is fucked up. Yeah, especially on PC. In PC, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want. You
Sure.
know.
there a workaround? I mean, we haven't really. I looked at the review on Steam, and it's kind of crazy that there's a bunch of. He's like, this review's at the top of the page, and of course, Capcom is not mentioning anything about it. But kind of curious about it. I know that most Japanese developers are not exactly the greatest for user
Communication.
friendliness. So
Definitely not communication. I mean,
no.
at this point, like, I'm still surprised that Capcom is still in the league because, like, Capcom, like, all they do is they just do remakes of old stuff. Like, is there a lot new? Anything like really, really new coming out of Capcom, or is it just
Well, they
remakes of
did
old
the
shit?
remakes of the Resident Evils, but they have done new Resident Evils that have done really well. Like 7 and 8 have both done really well.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, they got some new games. I mean, in the works. I mean, obviously their Monster Hunter franchise. They got a sequel to Monster Hunter World that is not obviously been announced yet. But we'll see if maybe Tokyo Game Show kind of has that unveiled. What Street Fighter 6, which I don't
Yeah,
know how.
it's the only thing you're saying to me is sequels.
Yeah, they got this other game. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it's kind of a multiplayer game that kind of combines Anthem and Dino Crisis. It's Exo Primal that is coming out for all platforms next year. And so they
I used to
announced.
like I used to like Dino Crisis because if I shot stuff, it stayed down. I never got into Resident Evil because I tried to play one Resident Evil. I couldn't tell you which one it was. I basically emptied my whole clip into one of the zombies, and it didn't stay down.
Was there
And I was
fire
just like,
around you?
I have no idea. This is years ago.
Well,
Like
it's
this is
probably.
one of
I'll say it was probably two because that was. I mean, that beginning of two is iconic. With the fire and the zombies, and you're basically, it just throws you the fuck in that shit.
yeah. I don't remember. It's been so long. I don't remember that at all. And then they did the weird thing with Dino Crisis where they did the kind of futuristic Dino Crisis, and that shit seemed like you had dinosaurs with fucking sci-fi armor and shit. It was just fucking weird. Um, I don't know what exactly they were thinking, but it's just like, come on, man, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but check out Exo Primal. I mean, I know that a lot of people are kind of thumbing their nose at it, but it's like it's like PvPvE, so it's like you're fighting like a separate 5-player team. It's 2 5-player teams of various mechs, and the mechs kind of look like they came straight out of Anthem, and then you're fighting a bunch of dinosaurs being like ported out of like wormholes
Wait,
on
this
here.
game is out?
It's in the works. It's coming out next year, and it's coming out
Oh,
for everything under the sun. So it's not just going to be like one of these Capcom, like, hey, we're just releasing it for PlayStation only kind of joints. It's coming out for PC on there. So
yeah, I'll look and see what I can find. Um, I'm putting it into um, I'm putting it into YouTube right now. I YouTube everything, so I'm gonna try to
well,
find some.
well, if just real quick, I'll run through one thing I've watched, which is the uh, Day Shift. It's
Okay,
it's a Netflix movie that is
no spoilers. I ain't seen it yet.
well, I'm just going to
Or,
go over the synopsis.
low spoilers. Low
Yeah,
spoilers.
yeah. The synopsis is that it's Jamie Foxx plays a character who is a pool cleaner that his shadow job is vampire killing,
Uh,
and
the
it's
way normal people say it is he's a pool cleaner, but he moonlights as a vampire killer. See how that works?
well, I thought moonlight now has like a double meaning, but anyway, but
No. And, I mean, it may like well the double meaning like actual like moonlight, and then like moonlighting, like so there's at least a double meaning. I don't know if it's a triple meaning to that, but like I know there is a double meaning, but it was just a lot easier way to say what you were trying to say.
Insane shadow job.
Shadow job. What
Yeah,
is a shadow job?
it's a job you do in the shadows. Um,
It's like it's like a prostitute that only wants to do it when it's pitch black in the room. Um,
but yeah, it's good, man. I saw some
Take it
reviews and I was like, I thought that I was going to be like, oh, it's going to be okay, might be fun. Yeah, it's definitely fun. And if someone's like, oh, it's a stupid dumb movie, yeah, it is a stupid dumb movie. But man, I watched it twice because I watched it at work when we were kind of in like small breaks and whatnot, and then I watched it fully with Amber, and I was thinking, I think I love this movie now. Like, it's really good. It's just so stupid and fun. You know, you got Snoop Dogg in it. You know, it's uh, uh, Dave Franco does a great job. It's a good movie. Fun ride.
So it's that stupid. I mean, super stupid. You know, like
It's basically
Leprechaun in the Hood, kind of stupid.
it's John Wick meets vampires. So
Oh, okay.
you got some good, really good choreography. Oh man, there's one part with a vampire hive or whatnot. Dude, that part is sick. I love that part. But anyway,
yeah, I know eventually I want to see it. Just like I eventually I'm gonna get around to watching Prey. But before I get into just one thing that I watched, what is something that you watch? Yeah.
Me, I don't watch that much TV, so it's like I live by myself. It's like I don't sit down and watch TV anymore. So it's like I can't really say I watch YouTube. I watch baseball. That's it. So
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube, like a ton of YouTube.
so
I
you haven't
watch.
watched the Real Housewives of L.A. or whatever anymore?
I don't watch. I don't watch reality shows of any kind.
I used to. I mean, when I was married, I sat down and watched whatever my wife was watching. So I wind up watching like Naked and Afraid or like Little Women or whatever the booty ass bullshit was on the
Yeah,
tube. And it's just something that I just sat down to just kind of zone out, and just got into things. But maybe I'll get back in the habit of sitting down and plopping on the couch and watching things. But I'd
You
rather
can
be
watch X
playing
Play
something. I'd
now.
rather be walking my
G4's back.
dogs,
yeah.
something. So.
I sat down. Living by yourself, like you end up finding time to do stuff that you never thought that you would have time to do. Sometimes, I watched someone play through the Division 1. It was an abridged version, but it was still 7 hours, and I watched that whole fucking thing.
So they took out the grindy parts.
He took out the grindy parts in between to raise your level enough to be actually be there. He cut out all of the like side mission stuff. It was all just main mission stuff and like the videos and cutscenes and things of that nature that came around those missions. But yeah,
Was he playing solo or was he playing with group?
playing solo.
Nice.
I played the last time I played Division 1. I played solo up until the part where you start going against the LMB and they ate me up. I was like, I gotta go get some help. I did perfectly fine with everything until I got to the LMB and the LMB fucked me up royally.
Hmm.
So, but I I haven't watched a whole lot, but I'm watching this show for another podcast that we're doing, the Return to Oswald podcast. We are watching a show called The Undoing, and it's a whodunit,
Hmm.
and this shit has me captivated. I've now watched the ending, because we have to do 2 episodes. I have to record 2 episodes tomorrow because Brandon is moving on Thursday, where we normally record the second episode. So I've already watched the last 2 episodes. So it didn't quite end as great as I thought it should have, but the ride was great. Like there is parts of this story where you're just like, I think everybody did it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a ritzy upper class New York family. They belong to this special private school that they send their son to. They end up meeting this lady, and she has a scholarship child into this prestigious school, and she wants to be a part of the auction committee. They auction off stuff so they can raise money for the school. And then the night of the auction, she gets murdered. And there's a whole like it's way crazier than that, but that's just kind of like enough to get you in. It's an HBO show. It's only 6 episodes. That's it, just 6. And I didn't think that I would really care that much about ritzy New Yorkers. But let me tell you something. If you've never heard me say this, um, Donald Sutherland is a fucking G amongst G's. He is fantastic in this. The actor Donald Sutherland. Like, there's a scene where he lets a dude kind of have it, but he kind of does it in a way that only he could do. He like talks to him normal, but there's so much menace in what he says. It's like, yo, that is why you hire him to do this job. Like, and there's a couple of other moments with him, and you know, the two main actors is Hugh Grant and Nicole Kidman. That is the basically the husband and wife of the family, that you basically follow through this whole thing. Is you know, the story is mostly focused on Nicole Kidman's character, but it's really stinking good. And I didn't think that I would like it, but I really, really enjoy it.
If you
Don't
like a
spoil
who,
it.
if you like a who done it, you should check out Knives Out. It's a good
I
movie.
never got around to it. That's on Amazon, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I've seen that. So it's a good movie. I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously. So I have access to Apple Plus now, so I should check out some series on there.
Okay. Why not?
Ted
All
Lasso.
right.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't watched anything, and I
I've heard
really don't know much. So
I've heard nothing but good things from everyone that I know. I have not heard, and not even it was all right about Ted Lasso. Everyone that I know that has seen Ted Lasso thinks it's fantastic. I've never heard anyone be like, it's all right. I've
there's
never
that
heard.
other series too, right? The one that's done by Ben Stiller, I think. That's supposed to be really good.
I don't know anything about that.
I
Severance,
don't
I
know.
think.
Ben Stiller. You know Ben Stiller did the Cable Guy.
Yeah, I knew that part. Did
Severance
you know that?
is the name of a show. I don't know if that's the one you're thinking of though.
Yeah, that's the one on Apple TV. And that's supposed to be just balls out. That's supposed to be really really good. So,
Cool.
and I don't know anything about it, but hey, I got free access. So hey, the only thing I have to invest is my time. So
Yeah.
find the time. You know, if I'm not
Yeah.
watching MLB for 4 hours a night, just going back and forth. So.
Okay. Is it we got anything else that we want to discuss?
I think I'm good.
I think we did it. I mean, this has been. I mean, we've been. We have, you and I have been talking since 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you're pretty tired, so go get some rest.
I don't know what's causing these coughing fits. That's the only thing. Maybe I need something to drink. I don't know, but something is causing these coughing fits, and it's not like it's not a dry cough, so it's not COVID. But it's just like I just randomly just have coughing fits, and it's driving me crazy. Um,
Yeah,
I
coughing
I
fits has
just
always been a thing for me. Like if I get sick, I'm going to be coughing for months afterwards. It's just I just always just if something happens, like I'm just going to keep that tickle in my throat, and it's annoying, man. You're like, God, it's like embarrassing, you know?
I I used to be like that, but then they took out my tonsils when I was like 33, and like after that, I haven't really
Oh,
been.
33. I got my tonsils taken out before my mom passed, and my mom passed when I was 7. So it was pre-7. I remember the popsicles in the pudding.
Well, as an adult, it was like 3 weeks off of work because yeah, my throat was jacked the fuck up. And as customer service rep, I'm still like in that same line of business, but I'm not on the phone anymore. But yeah, I work for IRS, so
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So before I close out everything and I close out on August, because this is the last show of August. Tell the people where they can find you.
They could find me on Twitter under the handle Jabroni Chief, JABRONICHIEF. Also, I'm part of 2 podcasts, so GH Radio. I think we just got done recording, like, I think 692, I think, and 693. I think
That's some
Chris
big
just
numbers,
published
man.
it up. I know. In
We're
fact,
getting close to 500.
yeah. In fact, no. We just passed the 696 because I remember Paris commented about it because of his user handle on Twitter on here. So yeah, we just passed 696. So far be it from
You know,
me. So
you know, Paris was on the very, very first episode of this show.
that's crazy. Way to
I
circle
was,
it back.
yeah, I was using a service called TalkShoe, um, and broadcasting that way. He kind of jumped in. I thought that was really cool of him, especially because, like, as when I was young, I really did. I tried to be a part of his show. Um, he was having some issues. His podcast partner needed to go do something else from Uncle Gamer, and so he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do, whether he wanted to continue or just let it go. And I kind of showed up like, hey, I can do it. And it was just kind of like, yo, the dude who just left was my brother. I don't know you. Like at the time, I felt dissed. Like, you know what I mean? At the time, I felt horribly dissed. But like, I was not thinking that, like, yo, his brother, his brother, his friend, super friend. Like they call each other brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of relationship that they had, and they can't do this thing that they love doing anymore. Then I just kind of walk in and be like, "Hey, I can do it," and it's just like, like I don't know you. If you don't get the fuck out my face, like you know, what I mean that type of thing. I mean, he was very nice about it. He was very very nice about it. But at the time, I didn't understand that. And then when he showed up on my podcast, I was like, oh, that's really fucking cool, because I was really a part of the talking about gamers community and all of that kind of stuff at the time. So I listened to almost all of the shows, all of the tag shows at the time. So like I've known him and he's known about me for a very very long time.
Good deal. Yeah, in fact, he was interacting a little bit with Alfred on Twitter. So I mean, kind of circle it all back. But
Yeah, he was the one who inspired Alfred to really get into the gym like that.
and
The way Alfred, both he and Alfred, just completely changed their lives by changing their bodies in that
yeah,
way.
no, Alfred's still to this day gym rat. I'd like to see his chronicles because I need to get my steps up like he does. It's like I'm trying to get myself up to 7,000 steps. I'm looking, he's doing like 13, 14,000 steps, like no problem. It's like, oh God,
Right. So
no
yeah,
problem. But
I've known these people for so long. Like it's crazy, and like some of them I met in person, some of them I haven't. Um, but yeah, I've known a lot of these dudes in the community for a very very long time.
good deal.
So
Yeah, they could hook me up listening to GH Radio, GH Radio Pod on Twitter, and then also Gaming Vessels, which is another show I kind of labor of love with my friends Kevin, Show Enough 71, former host on Gamer Husbands. He kind of dropped out of that show, and he still wanted to do something. So we decided to work on something on the side, and so we decided to do a
Don't,
podcast
don't
about
tell Show Enough.
everything we wanted to talk about. It. So
Don't tell Show Enough you were here.
maybe
No,
Show Enough should.
no, I'm serious. Don't tell Show Enough you were here.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think Show Enough's a fan of mine at all.
Oh, really? I don't even know. So maybe I'll have to get that backstory at one point. You know, because I've known Kevin since like 1994, for God's sake. So
Good.
yeah, we've known each other since like I got introduced from a mutual friend, and we used to go to arcades together back in the 90s. So it's like
Wow, that's dope. That's
and
dope.
the other host on Gaming Vessels is my friend Desmond, which I've known since 1994. In fact, he's a gay man, and he hit on me at the arcade back when he was like 18 years old, sitting there playing Samurai Showdown 1, and he asked for my phone number, and I thought he was a cool guy to talk to, and then he let me know he thought that was cute.
Boom! And then when they said when you win, boom. The little guy shows up with the flags.
There you go. The little referee in the background. Yeah, no, we got into it a little bit, playing a little, you know, because no one else was around. So I wound up like, you know, playing him for like, I think 30, 45 minutes, just sitting there doing one-on-one fights. And it's like, yeah, good times. You know, never thought you'd meet a lifelong friend at an arcade. You know, it's like, I had several in my life. All my friends from back in the 90s arcade lifestyle. I mean, pretty much I know to this day, talk to this still to this day. So, you know.
That's dope, because you know a lot of people don't have friends like that anymore. I have some friends that like I talk to on like Facebook and stuff like that I've known for a very very long time, but it's not like I've ever like had any like real like conversations with them like we did when we were younger or whatever. Um, so
Yeah.
it's really cool that you to keep in touch, and even to the point be able to do a podcast with some people that you've known for that long. It's really dope.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, back in the day, we used to go to the arcade, go out and go to like Denny's or Lions afterwards, go drink afterwards sometimes. You know,
So
so
Denny's aware?
Denny's Diner. You know,
No, yeah, but do you said Denny's or?
Lions. I think back in the day is another like regional like you know.
Oh, okay. I was like, I ain't never heard of no Lions.
Yeah, you have to
He's like, I
go
want to
way
eat at
back. I mean, like,
Alliance.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of no Lions. You know, as a place to eat, no. As something that might want to eat me, if you know,
there you go.
because I'm fat and I'm tasty, um, maybe. But no, I ain't never heard of that one. I mean, of course,
Maybe the customers are the Lions.
I am from Virginia. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's like an old like a diner chain from back in the 90s that doesn't even exist anymore, but they were all in California and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, another 24-hour joint. You can go there 4 o'clock in the morning, grab breakfast, with that, you know, have, you know, people drunk, you know, have people just hanging out, you know, kind of thing. So,
Sounds like Waffle House.
It's kind of weird that like you know like the regional stuff like that, and when people talk about it, it's just like I want to figure out what that was. Like that sounds like a place I want to go. And like most of the locals will be like, man, it was all right. But I'm just like, no, that sounds fantastic. I would like to do something other than the Waffle House that early in the morning. Um,
Yeah,
so
it's regional stuff is crazy because sometimes you grow up with these things and then you realize, wait a minute, so not everybody has Food Lion? It's like everywhere around here. You know what I mean?
exactly. It's like people from like Texas and stuff like that talking about Bucky's and how better Bucky's is other than Wawa. And I was like, shut your face, sir. Like that is do not besmirch Wawa. But they're just like, no. You have never been to. If you're saying that Wawa is better than Bucky's, you have never been to a Bucky's. And I said that is true, but don't besmirch Wawa. Until I get to a Bucky's, we not doing this. Um, and like stuff like Whataburger and stuff like that.
It's like
yeah,
it's kind of thing to where like, you know, your mom's
And
mashed potatoes.
Your Californians got the In and Out and stuff like that I've never had.
Yeah,
everybody's mom's spaghetti is always the best spaghetti. You know what I mean? It's like it's because that's what you grew up with. So
Sure. All right. Well, thank you again for being here for as long as you've been here, through the shenanigans of us trying to record reaction videos and talking about shittens, and like everything else that has come with today. You stepped up to the plate when we needed somebody, and I thank you greatly. Um,
appreciate it, Scar.
and to the people listening, this is the last episode of August. We'll try to see if we can work something else out to try to bring some people that we missed back around. But we're going back on our 2 week. We're going back on our 2 week thing. We are really putting our best foot forward when it comes to the reactions. Um, we crossed 100 subs with the home free video. The home free video was doing very well. Hopefully that will eclipse the Nightwish video. But we crossed 100 subs, which it's not a it's a something small to the rest of you. To
oh
all of you, it's small, but to us, this is monumental because we decided to do the reaction channel and just be ourselves. And even though we did get in a little bit trouble with the Nightwish stuff, like we really tightened up. And even at that time, there's times where I wanted to quit. We tightened up and we became better at this, and we started really getting into the swing of how we wanted to do this. And the subs seem to be going up. And we appreciate everyone that's subscribed, that's liked it, that shared it with somebody, even Nightwish fans. We appreciate you. I think to celebrate the next time that we have a session, we are going to listen to another Nightwish song just for you.
oh
Just for
before I forget, we did have a contest and we do have a winner, but it's only
you.
going to
Oh,
be
you do.
announced on the show because that's the point of the thing is getting people to listen to the show. I will announce that we have a winner and we only announce it on the show in the Discord, but not actually announce who won. You know what I mean? Because But I wanted to say a little bit about this. Everyone got the answer wrong. First off,
Yes.
you know, our winner is Arcane Head 97. He said that it was from Silent Hill. Nemesis said it was Silent Hill 2. He was a little bit closer. Mafia Thug said it was Silent Hill as well, but it's actually Silent Hill 3. And there's a few little podcast um, hints that I thought was kind of obvious. For one, I had just talked about that I was playing the game. And two,
Okay.
it's a screenshot of the hospital that is featured in 2 and 3. But this map has the save icon from 3 and also that you go through the elevator that you don't go through in 2. So it was kind of a hard one, I guess. But still, everyone
So
got it
would you
wrong.
do? So would you do like you took everybody who got close enough and you kind of put them through?
Well, I just put
Uh,
everybody in there because if everyone got it wrong, then everybody goes in because I'm not a monster. You know what I mean? So, but Arcane Head got it. So, um, just hit me up in some sort of DM Arcane and get your code. If you but if in like a month or so and I don't hear from you, then I guess you didn't win, and it'll go to somebody else.
okay. All right, that works. Again, thank you everyone. Thank you, Joe. And we're gonna be back in 2 weeks. August is over. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the normal show. Go to the Geeks Gone Right Universe YouTube page for our reactions. Unfortunately, did not make the reactions.
And it didn't
We
make the
kind of talked.
podcast either.
Yeah, it didn't make the podcast either, so we kind of talked about that in between. Just know that there is a product that is a mitten made for wiping your ass called Shittens, and I think it is the most clever name of all time. Um, so
I
again,
think I think they
thank you.
come up with the name before they come up with the product.
No, you on that you have to come up with the mitten first, right? You have to come up with the product first, right? Like you have to be like, it is a mitten for wiping your behind. Well, what we're gonna call it? Shittens. Like that's not something you can't say I'm gonna make a thing called shittens. What is it going to be? Like, no, that's not how that worked. Like you
No.
had to you had to come up with the mitten first. It was just like, yo, I want to wipe my ass, but I want to be able to wipe both sides. So like I need to make this into like a full encompassing mitten. So that I
Do I have to get some shittens and do a review on the podcast?
There you go.
I don't think so. I wouldn't. I would not. Like, I don't really want to know about
Live
you wiping
reaction.
your ass. I don't really want to know about you wiping your ass.
And I
So
gotten
that's the.
crap for having dude wipes in my damn bathroom. I have these sanitary napkins called dude wipes. So
I had an ex who really likes dude wipes, and she's not a dude. She really likes dude wipes, and it was very weird that like she would like buy dude wipes by like a lot, like buy the like the 3-pack and shit like that. You know what I mean? Not just like the singles. Like she would buy like and buy them in bulk. That's what I was trying to say. Um, I very much pulled a chase then, but like my girlfriend liked buying dude wipes, and that felt weird to me.
hey, dude wipes, not for dudes. It's
Yeah,
like a
apparently not. But yeah, that shit
pro-
was weird to me. But yep. All
Or
right,
shittens
wait,
might
wait.
not just be for shitting. You know, he might. What if you wore shittens while you ate chicken wings, and that way you can eat your chicken wings and be wiping your mouth and.
No, but I'm pretty sure that they're wipes meant for your butt. So I'm pretty sure that there's some sort of liquid because they're like wet wipes.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Your
wet
butt.
wipes. Yeah,
So
They're
yeah.
wet wipes. So
So
do you really want whatever that liquid is to be on all of your chicken?
no, but I didn't say it was a good idea. I just say that you could do it.
Yeah, that's like eating chicken with like toilet paper wrapped around your hands. Do you think that's a good idea? Fuck no. Like no, not at all. You might as well you might as well just fucking no, you know what? I'm not going there. I'm closing the show. Bye y'all. Peace out to the Warrior Show.
Later.
later.